Hello, Christina from The Turned Leg. And I have behind me just the finishings of a project. If you don't know, I go live on Facebook every week, Mondays at 8:30 Eastern, so you can always check out what I'm up to over there. But today we are talking about one of my favorite things to do in the summer, and that is to head to the flea market. So come along, see what treasures I've found, and I'm sure you'll let me know if I missed anything good. To go to the Armada flea market, I wake up before the sun rises and I hopped in the car. My mom was joining me for this adventure too. She is the one holding the camera so you can see all of the sights. And it is about an hour north, and if you can see right there, there is the Uniroyal Tire. It's located in Allen Park, Michigan, and it used to be a Ferris wheel for a World Fair. So how cool is that turned now into a tire? Anyways, we're driving through Detroit and then we'll head up to Armada. And if we time it right, we can avoid the sunrise blinding you as you go. But you want to get there early because that's when there is good stuff to find. I don't know about you, but in my area, we have really expensive prices at thrift stores, and flea markets are just that little extra special place where you can find really unique items at really good prices. And we are almost to the flea market. You're going to be able to see it pop up on the right hand side here. This is the flea market already. So many vendors set up and ready to go, even though it is early. For more information about this flea market, check out the description box below. We parked quickly, and I'm always anxious to get out to see what I can find because, as I mentioned, good stuff goes quick. So for this trip, I'm actually looking for small items because currently my van is in the shop, so I can't take big items home. And of course, I already knew what that would probably mean. I'd probably find some big items I'd want to take. There was already, though, a lot of good things that I was spotting, and the prices were very, very good. I am just looking for things for fall decor. This blanket was perfect. I decided to take it home with me. Stay tuned to the end to see what else I brought home and what I paid for it at flea markets. Sometimes you can haggle prices. I will if I feel there's a need, but usually the prices here are just so good. Here was one of those items I couldn't bring home with me. Really wanted to. An old wash tub for only $50. Loved the green. I probably would have kept it for myself. But I was not to be discouraged. There was still a lot to see, and smalls were selling well. There was copper to be found too, which that has been hot lately. Loved this toolbox. It was a little bit too pricey, but anything with tiny drawers also is something people are wanting right now. And I saw a bunch of vintage hardware and amber bottles and things that just made me so very happy. And I was feeling a little bit scattered at this point. I'm trying to be smart, buy things that will sell, and also find all of the cool things before everybody else, which is sometimes hard to do. But I'm telling you, flea markets, for me, you'll have to comment down below and let me know, always seem to be that place that have the unique stuff, and it's everywhere you're looking. There's so many cool items, and a lot of things are at such good prices. I can absolutely put it in my booth and still make a profit. If you want to know more about what I am buying, you can click a link on this video above. I go into a little bit more detail. Now, when I'm shopping, just like if I'm shopping anywhere, you always have to look at prices or at least ask about prices. Some of the dealers here are selling things really inexpensively. Maybe they do house cleanouts or whatever. They can really mark things inexpensive. Other people are selling like vintage antique dealer prices. So you do have to be careful. Pretty much my rule of thumb at flea markets is I try to keep in mind things I need or are hot in my booth. And I also just try to find really cool things I haven't seen anywhere else for the price I want to pay. I will say the tooled leather, this, if it was a little bit cheaper, would have done really well in my booth. I love ornate and colorful things too. And another seller in my booth has been real silverware. It's just I have to get it for the right price so that I can sell it. I think a lot of people are using it maybe to make mismatched sets or even for crafting. There were also a lot of rugs here, and I've been surprised. I have been selling rugs in my booth booth, more than I expect. But for me, learning more about rugs and pricing them has been a bit tricky. If you have any tips or tricks, comment down below. I would appreciate it. And look at that saddle. Wouldn't that have been fun for a fall display? I definitely was thinking about it. There's also crafts. There is food here, baked goods, produce, and you never know what you're gonna find. It's a bird container. Love it. I'm also a sucker for vintage cheese boxes, but I try not to pick up things I just like to collect. I try to pick up things that sell for my booth. Another thing I was really thinking about was this orange fan. I was told it worked, but I just was not 100%. And lately when I'm going to buy stuff, if it's not 100% yes, then it is a no. I really, like I said, want to buy things that are absolutely perfect for my booth. I also picked up a crafty item, and that was a handmade wood shelf. You're going to see some of his work coming up right here. He had some wood benches for sale. He also sold a little shelf, really reasonable prices. I picked one up to pop in my booth. It does have the live edge on it. We will see if it sells or not. I already had one load to drop off at the car, so it was time to get back and keep looking. And the next table I hit, I was finding a lot of really cool things. Check out this clock. I'm always intrigued with the really gaudy, beautiful clocks. My mom does repair them. Brass coat hanger, that did go home with me. But as I was shopping this space, I was just finding so many cool things. There was hardware. It was just my kind of stuff. And the gentleman who had all of the items gave me the absolute best news.
Today is make an offer.
Okay.
I'm not refusing till we let them know.
Okay. And I did find a lot of good things in this area. I made a deal, and you'll have to stay tuned to the end to see what I brought home from all of these treasures. I put my treasures back in my car for a second time and continued looking around, finding more neat things. There was a whole bunch of knives, and I thought it was really cool. One of them actually said bread on it, so you knew what it was used for. Never seen that before. I also saw a lot more like pamphlets and ephemeral. That's been really hot for me in my booth right now, and I like to look in every box. You never know what you're going to find. There are just so many dealers here with good deals. There also was a typewriter, still not in my price range, but I'm pretty sure if I keep looking, I'm going to find one. We finished up our shopping, and then it was time to go to the Lavender Festival at Blake's Orchard and Cider Mill. They have a Lavender Fest, and it was the perfect day for it, although it was a little hot. There is a lot of lavender food. There are crafters and vendors. There's also a tractor ride out to the lavender fields where you can harvest your very own lavender to take home. It was a lot of fun and something I had never done before. It was a great adventure heading to the Armada flea market. I always have so much fun. While I was editing this video, just looking back, I'm like, I need to go back and get some more good stuff. I know I didn't show you too much of what I found, so let's take a look at it now. The total cost for the haul was about $60, and there were quite a few bundle deals. This brass coat rack I absolutely could not pass up. It has already sold. We have a great lollipop container here. It's always a lot of fun to have items like this in your booth, and match holders have been hot. I've sold all the ones I have, so I was really excited to get each one of these for a couple dollars and be able to restock my booth. I also loved this sign. I'm not a big sign person, but I thought it would be fun to display. Candlesticks were gaudy and gorgeous and at a good price, couple bucks for both of them. This was a beautiful leaded glass planter. I think that'll be so much fun to stage. And there is the live edge shelf that I told you about that the gentleman made. It was a really sweet deal, and I think it'll be beautiful for display in my booth, and then hopefully it'll also sell too. More candlesticks here. The pair was a couple dollars. These allow you to raise and lower the candles as they melt. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't see that very often. The magic and medicine of plants, that kind of stuff has been really popular. Everything about herbs. I thought I would pick up this book and pop it in my booth too. And I was just ecstatic about this little planter. And I also picked up some fish hooks, which I know nothing about, but I loved the container. A cool rusty container is always a good thing. I think I got that for $1. This is like a little mini hull goose container planter. I have a larger one, so I just had to pick them up to put them side by side. I think my best find was this vintage Easter basket. It was off of the table where I just made a deal. So I got a whole bunch of items for like $30 at the table, and this was a part of it. And those are just so very popular. I also picked up this beautiful piece, absolutely gorgeous with its colors, always looking for unique pottery pieces. Found some more unique finds. These Delta Airline coasters, or maybe mini ashtrays, were also really fun to pick up. I'm going to sell them, of course, as a set. Loved the colors on this vintage trinket box from Italy, shaped like an iron, but just oh so unique. It also had a really cool look to it that it's not picking up on camera, so I'll flip it over. I'll show you the bottom of it because there was like crackle in the glaze, which I just think makes an antique. I'm also a sucker for a vintage doll head. We have kind of a collection going at the mall. I think for the spooky season coming up, I probably will be selling more of them. Got some cool old photos at really good prices. I've sold most of the larger ones that I have. Maybe I'll find some other frames to pop these into. These were just unique and I liked them. And there, of course, is the throw that I picked up. I think I paid $10 for that throw. And it is going to be beautiful to stage for all of my fall items at my booth. I also found a pretty small cash box. I already have a bunch of these. I love boxes for staging and risers. And then I found this bread and cake cabinet, and I am loving the look. I am loving the orange. I just think it is such a unique and fun find. Thank you so very much for joining me. I'm curious to know what your favorite item was from my haul. Many of these items surprisingly have already sold, so that is the good news. That also means more thrifting trips and flea markets are in my future, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create.